for sake of me actually trying to justify Okoya or whatever it is you want to time it as. But good morning to you, Faith, and glad to have you on the Sport Bank this morning.
Yeah, good morning, AY. Good morning, Ibadan. It's another wonderful time to be on Sports Bank, especially on a Thursday morning. Well, maybe an unusual lineup on a Thursday morning.
You know,
we don't do this often, me teaming up with you on a Thursday morning, but then it is what it is. And, we all started up on a very interesting European Championships. All definitely coming up. Starting tomorrow, obviously. People are already looking out for that. Turkey against Italy will be the curtain raiser for us and all that. So we know we have several things, just like we've rightly pointed out, that finds a way to interest us in all these sports and all that. But then, football is also in the news, MMA in the news and all that. So sports will always continue to give us something to be excited about, and we are always super excited, super pumped up to be on Sports Bank any weekday morning.
Indeed, we are super excited to actually bring to you everything exciting from the world of sports this lovely Thursday morning. Like you rightly said, the Euros is actually catching our attention, and of course it is down to the fact that it gets underway tomorrow. Turkey against Italy, the curtain raiser, before we now have a barrage of top fixtures right there from that competition. But a country actually completed their own preparation for the tournament yesterday. That's Portugal, with a 4-0 rout over Israel. A certain Bruno Fernandes got a brace, Cristiano Ronaldo got another goal, and that further edges him closer to that Iranian player's record and possibly just usurping that. And then a fantastic goal right there by Joao Cancelo. What a beauty that was. But at the end of the day, Fernandes' team actually got a 4-0 victory over Israel, and they look quite ready for the tournament, albeit in a very difficult group alongside Hungary, Germany and France.
Yeah, I think they're in the group of death, but you have to understand that they also have some of the brightest prospects. They will be coming into this competition as defending champions, so you also look at that. But anything with Cristiano Ronaldo probably will have nothing to fear. Exactly. Of course, they're in a difficult group. Also, they have the world champions, talking about France in that group. They have the 2014 world champions, Germany, in that group. Then Hungary have not particularly been a bad side. Many people have not talked about them, but then this is a very defensively resolute team. I saw them throughout the qualifiers. They did so well for themselves, and they have this particular young lad, Szoboszlai.
I think he's actually out injured. No thanks to injury.
And
he
was
supposed to be a go-to man for the tournament.
But then, it is what it is, and that is a definite group to look out for. I'm still having doubts about Portugal until this game. They didn't do so well in the preparatory games. I saw them against Spain, where they had that goalless draw, where, if not Alvaro Morata, who was very, very profligate in front of goal in that particular game, they probably would have lost that one. But hopefully they would not flatter to deceive. Hopefully they'll be able to defend their championship, which I think would be very difficult. It will be a tall order, but then they just have to earn it.
Now, let me quickly, Joe, just try to get your take on this. I know it might be coming a bit late or a bit too early, but let me know perhaps your top 2 favorites for this one. You've seen all the teams prepare for the tournament: Spain, England, France, Germany, Portugal, Italy. I'm quite sure loads of countries are, probably catching your fancy right now in terms of pre-tournament favorite. But just give me your top 2. Perhaps maybe we'll actually nail you to the cross for that later on.
Well, if I mention one team, I would say France, first of all. Of course, they won the 2018 World Cup. And we remember what happened in 1998 after winning the World Cup. They won the Euros in 2000, the following Euros. Then we also saw it with Spain, where they won the 2008 Euros, won the 2010 World Cup, and then won the 2012 Euros. So maybe you think that they have that best crop of players right now, fantastic talent. With the addition of Karim Benzema to that World Cup winning squad, you think that they will be the team to beat. Then the other team will be Italy. This is a team people have not been looking at. Many people have not been talking about them. Yes, understandably so, because they weren't at the 2018 World Cup and then all that. But this particular Italy has not lost a game since October 2018. That's spanning about 27 games. I mean, that is a run that people are not looking at, and they have been quietly doing their thing. Maybe because they don't have the biggest of stars. They don't have some of those kind of stars they used to have.
Francisco Totti, Andrea Palos,
that they used to have in times past. The Lucatonis and all that. But right now they have a very decent squad, a very defensively resolute, and they are also very good going forward with Immobile and the likes, always doing well. And then you have Verratti in the middle of the park, controlling proceedings and all all that. So Italy is another team that people should definitely watch out for. So if you were to ask me, I'll be, pitching my tent to maybe France or Italy.
Wow, France, Italy. Interesting. I think they once played in the World Cup finals. That should be about
2006.
2006. Interesting. We'll actually wait to find out how far these two countries will go. But remember, the tournament gets underway later tomorrow. And interestingly, Brazil will be hosting the Copa America, which gets underway later on Sunday as well. I think the first game is against Venezuela. I stand to be corrected on that. But they are actually playing the first game of the tournament. Away from international football now, let's talk a bit of club football, because we're hearing, as a matter of fact, that Tottenham Hotspur could in fact be replacing their former manager Jose Mourinho with the man he has now replaced at AS Roma, Paulo Fonseca, who actually left Serie A side AS Roma last season after a disappointing campaign, and is reportedly in talks with the North London club to begin life as a sports manager ahead of the new season. Quickly, let us catch up with the BBC for the Premier League update, and when we return, we have a whole lot more to still talk about in the world of football. This is BBC Premier League Update.
Andy Barwell at the BBC Sports Centre. The 6 Premier League clubs involved in the proposed European Super League are set to be fined £22 million. That's just over $31 million between them. Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal all wanted to be part of a breakaway competition, a plan that was widely criticised across football and by the UK government. Further cash penalties and points deductions will be applied should they attempt a similar project again. Now, Wolverhampton Wanderers have appointed the former Benfica boss Bruno Lage as their new manager. He was previously assistant to Carlos Carvajal at Sheffield United and at Swansea City before joining Benfica, where he led them to the Portuguese title in 2019. Our football reporter Simon Stone has more details.
Lage's arrival underlines the Portuguese influence at Molineux, and in particular that of super agent Jorge Mendes. Building on Nuno Espirito Santo's legacy will not be easy for the 45-year-old. Lage is best known in England for his work as assistant manager at Sheffield Wednesday and Swansea, but the attraction for Wolves is the Portuguese title he won as head coach at Benfica in 2019. However, with midfielder Ruben Neves attracting interest from Arsenal, there may be some rebuilding work for Lage to do before the new season starts in August.
And the Manchester United star Bruno Fernandes scored twice as Portugal eased their way to a 4-0 win attempt at Israel as the holders warmed up for the forthcoming rescheduled European Championship with a dominant performance. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
Okay, you're welcome back from that time out with the BBC for the Premier League update. There you heard a whole lot of managerial going on. And remember, yesterday as well, Lati also appointed Maurizio Sarri, former Juventus and Chelsea manager, on a 2-year contract to replace Simone Inzaghi, who has left for International. So many managerial go-rounds right there in European football. But away from that, let's quickly come back home. We had NPFL Match Day 26 actions yesterday. Some of them, about 8 games played yesterday. We've got loads of more fixtures coming up today. In fact, I think, as a matter of fact, one should be live right now in Lagos. MFMFC hosting our BA Warriors. But yesterday, Sunshine Stars eventually ended their 18-game winless streak with a 1-0 victory over Dakar FC. Debuting Ejike Uzwenchi actually got the goal for the winner Wales in that one, which was pretty much a big relief and a bit of soft landing for their new head coach. That's Ayeni Deji, who is actually managing his first home game in charge of Sunshine Stars. Elsewhere, leaders Canopy saw their 10-game unbeaten streak ended by Rivers United in Port Harcourt, with Sunday Adetunji and Paul Aqua scoring the goals to lift Stanley Guma's side to 4th on the logs. In another fixture in Lafia, Silas Onwako scored a brace, and David Chimezi added an own goal as Nassau United dispatched what it was 3-1 in Lafia, with Sunday Williams grabbing a consolatory effort for the visitors. I've seen that Sunday Williams goal, fantastic overhead kick. Maybe I'll actually post it on my okay, on my Facebook page and Instagram pretty much later. But quickly, let's run through the results of fixtures played yesterday. Plateau United defeated Katsina United 2-0. Enyimba defeated Adamawa United 2-1. Canopilas lost away at Rivers United by 2-8. Ended 1-1 between Jigawa Golden Stars and Wiki Tourist. FC Enyimba were able to defeat Kwara United 2-1. Lobby Stars edged Rangers by an odd goal. Same with Sunshine Stars edging Dakada FC. Nassau United defeated Warriors 3-1. MFM FC are currently live against Abia Warriors as we speak in Lagos, and later today we'll be having Aqua United hosting Heartland. Amongst all those fixtures, Faith, which one has been able to raise your eyebrow a bit?
Well, definitely it has to be the game between Sunshine Stars and Dakada, obviously. We've always talked about the kind of terrible run of form they've been in for quite a long time now. 18 games. It's not the kind of streak you even want to have. It's not the kind of record. I think they hold the record now for the longest winless streak in NPFL history. This is not something you want to, you want to continue. It's not an enviable record. But now, they've turned the corner. Hopefully, they've turned the corner because, once you hit that kind of terrible form, once you get one win on board, it could be that springboard for you to begin to do other greater things going forward. Because definitely they still have a huge chance of escaping relegation. They are just 4 points behind 15th placed Katsina United. So you say that there's still a very, very big opportunity for them to escape relegation. But then for them to do that, they need to continue to win games, especially at home. They should not drop any single point going forward from home, and then try to pick whatever they can pick away from home. So I think that is the pick of the bunch for me. Hopefully Sunshine Stars will continue that upward spiral.
Okay, next up for Sunshine Stars and away game at Enugu Rangers, hopefully this weekend, and it doesn't get tougher than that, especially for a new head coach, Deji Ayeni. Away from that, now let's come down home to Ibadan, because just yesterday, the draw for the Mini Football Nations Cup was held right in the city of Ibadan, right at the Ilaji Sports Resort, where the Spartan Eagles of Nigeria have been drawn alongside Senegal, Morocco, and Djibouti ahead of the second edition of the tournament. The draws, like I said earlier, held at Ilaji Hotels and Resorts at Akron, Ibadan, and was also witnessed by the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, and a host of other dignitaries. In that, the expanded Nations Cup will feature 16 teams drawn in a group of 4 teams each, and the host nation, which is Nigeria, were drawn alongside 2018 runners-up Senegal, while Morocco and Djibouti, in their maiden appearance at the Nations Cup, complete the lineup in Group A. The defending champions of the tournament are Ivory Coast, and they will be looking to retain the title they won in 2018 in the Group C alongside Egypt, Somalia, and Ghana. While Egypt is making a debut at the tournament, Ghana and Somalia, in their second appearance, will strive to make it past the group stage this time around. In other draws, Burkina Faso, Benin Republic, South Africa, and Tunisia make a Group B, while Libya, Gabon, Zambia, and Algeria were drawn in Group D. Reacting to the draws, head coach of Nigeria Mini Football, that's Coach Babatunde Odubola, said he's pleased with the draw and will work towards producing a better record at the tournament, other than the disappointing outing we had just about 3 years ago, right there in the first edition of the tournament.
For now, the preparation is not too good for now. But we hope when they resume on Friday, we are going to intensify the training. And since we know our group now, we know which people we are going to meet. And I know Senegal very well, a very good side. But I don't know about Djibouti and Morocco. But we are going to prepare very well to make sure we make Nigeria proud. We are aiming for a better performance and ticket to World Cup. I cannot promise Nigerians that we are going to win this cup. Well, we are going to try. We are going to do our best we can.
Of course, it was a carnival-like night out right there at Elijah Sport Resort yesterday. But then let's quickly just dissect all he said. Firstly, he's saying preparation is not at top-notch yet. The tournament, by the way, gets underway on the 8th day of next month and ends on the 13th day. And that means we're technically just about a month away from the start tournament. And the coach is saying preparation is not at top-notch level yet.
Yeah, we can always see that. But then it's the Nigerian way. We always go into competitions without the best.
We are the host.
it's so unfortunate, but then it is what it is. But hopefully we'll still be able to find a way around it. But if less than a month to a competition, the coach is still saying preparation is not top notch, then there's a huge problem. And maybe that was why I was even saying that. Well, he's not promising the cup because I don't understand that. But then it is what it is. And I've seen our grouping, and we are alongside Senegal. Senegal were in the finals in 2018. Yeah. They lost to Ivory Coast in that particular one, so it shows that they are a very, very good side, and that's a very stiff opposition that we'll be getting. But the other people in that group, Morocco and Djibouti, they are debutants. This is the first time they will be coming to the competition. Maybe that explains why the coach doesn't know so much about them, because he also led the team to the 2018 edition in Libya over there, where we didn't get past the group stage and all that. But hopefully this time around we'll be able to do well as the host, regardless of the kind of preparation we've had and all that. I will still be able to find a way around it and get one of the 5 World Cup slots. Even if we don't get to win the competition, I think it's very important that we get a World Cup slot.
I see you are trying to dance along to the tune of the head coach there. Not really aiming for the title, but at least qualification for the World Cup is non-negotiable right there. And I think that would really perhaps settle well with loads of Nigerians, especially when you realize that this is our second appearance at the tournament. Yeah. But this is five-a-side. Not five-a-side. This is mini football, quite similar to the usual five-a-side we play here in Nigeria, where an open field is a potential five-a-side field here in the country. So we should really be having a rethink at that. But away from that, now let's talk about several other sports, starting from the athletics, where Ibrahim Shehu Gusau has assured of a free and fair electoral process. And the Athletics Federation of Nigeria elections slated for Monday, June 14. Gusau has maintained his claim as AFN president despite the Sport Ministry dissolving the board of the Crisis Reading Federation along with 30 other federations and appointing bitter rival Olamide George as caretaker chairman. But Gusau's claim to the presidency has been twice upheld by the courts, and in a bid to resolve the crisis, World Athletics mandated elections be conducted later on June 14. And the former lawmaker, that's Gusau, is vying for a second term, but promised to not interfere in the electoral process and guarantee the interest of all contestants in that election. Hopefully that will be the case and possibly end this long-standing feud in race to eventually become the president of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Away from that, in handball, it wasn't really the best of outing rider for Nigeria women's handball team in the ongoing Women's African Handball Nations Cup in Cameroon on Tuesday, as they lost to their counterpart from Democratic Republic of Congo 16-35. But we are bound to have another fixture later today against our host country, Cameroon. Indeed, we are hoping to actually get the best outing in this one. From the world of tennis, quickly, Coco Gauff has been knocked out after losing 7-6, 6-3 to Barbara Krejcikova, while Sakari also dispatched the defending champion Iga Swiatek. But I think the highlight from yesterday's action has to be the fact that Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal progressed to the semi-finals, and they are bound to pair up later tomorrow, Faith.
For the 58th time, it's something you want to see. You always want to see the best of players come up against themselves. Nadal against Djokovic. Well, hopefully that will serve us a cracker. That will almost be like one semi-final with the veterans and the other one with the next gen series. So it's about a game of the veterans against the next gen series.
Some will say the present against the future or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we'll leave you with this very, very interesting interview granted right there by a certain Nigerian star. Due to time, we may not be able to take that, unfortunately. But don't you worry, probably later tomorrow and later on Saturday, it is an interview from Israel Adesanya. Remember, he's bound to actually fight Italian Marvin Vettori in UFC 263 later on Sunday in Arizona. But he granted a very interesting interview yesterday. But due to time, we'll not be able to bring that to you. But don't you worry, later tomorrow, probably on Saturday on World Sports, we'll be doing justice to this and much more. So big thanks to you for being at the other end on this edition of Sports Bank. The show will make a return tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning. Big thanks to you as well, Faith, for being a part of the show today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Okay, shout out right there to Agbawo. Let's go to the G. My name is Ayo Animasahun. Have a fantastic Thursday. I'm out of here.
Splash FM 105. The UEFA Euro 2020 is here, featuring the best of the best. The Sergio Ramoses, the Ronaldos, the Harry Kanes, the Mbappes, and of course you, the super fan. From Friday